The Red Bull Junior team has the reputation of being the most efficient F1 young driver program, delivering multiple Grand Prix winners and, of course, the reigning F1 double champion Max Verstappen. However, despite high expectations in 2022 with many F2 drivers that had a chance of promotion to F1, Red Bull and AlphaTauri chose to sign former Mercedes reserve driver Nick de Vries to replace Pierre Gasly. Will 2023 be different? With Yuki Tsunoda entering his third F1 season, he is expected to show some strong progress to keep his seat for 2024 and beyond. If neither he nor Nick convince Helmut Marko that they're worthy, then one of these Red Bull Juniors for 2023 could have a shot at F1 in 2024. Liam Lawson. After finishing third in his second F2 season, the 20-year-old Kiwi was not considered ready enough for Formula 1. His 4 wins made him the second most successful driver of the field behind Felipe Drugovich, but they were all clinched in sprint races. Like Théo Pourchaire, he's had some struggles with qualifying which prevented him from aiming for more. In 2023, Lawson will be facing the biggest challenge of his career. Being sent to the competitive Super Formula in Japan, he will have to discover a car that's closer to F1 than F2 was, as well as new tracks, new working methods and a whole new culture. The objective for Liam will surely be for him to learn as quickly as possible in the same way as Pierre Gasly did in 2017. The Frenchman had convinced Red Bull after 2 years in GP2 that he was ready for F1, but he achieved this in Japan by winning races and fighting for the title, losing out by only half a point in the end. So if Lawson wants to keep his F1 hopes alive, this will definitely be his model for the season. Ayumu Iwasa. Could a Japanese driver take the place of another one? Supported by Honda and Red Bull, the 21-year-old Japanese driver has had a meteoric rise through the ranks of the feeder series ladder, but 2022 has undoubtedly been a breakthrough year for Iwasa. Despite joining Dams, who have come 8th in the team's championship in the previous 2 seasons, he has led them to podiums, pole positions and 2 wins at Paul Ricard and Yas Marina. But to surprise everyone in a rookie campaign where expectations are low is much easier than surprising everybody 1 year later. Surprising people will be the target for 2023 for Iwasa, who will return to Dams, a team that has not won the Drivers' Championship since 2014. If he can improve and fight for the title, he could be the 19th Japanese driver in F1 history. Dennis Hauger. Were we expecting too much from Dennis Hauger last year? Possibly. After crushing the FIA F3 field in 2021, the Norwegian was keen to follow the successful campaigns of Robert Schwartzman and Oscar Piastri. These other F3 champions also joined Prema in F2 the year following their title. 10th in the standings, a 19-year-old has shown some great performances such as his superb win at Baku, but these moments were too rare and he scored no points in 6 rounds. By joining the team that took the Drivers' and Teams Championship last year, MP Motorsport, Hauger will keep the number 1 on his car. With more experience, he must now find the consistency to fight for the title. This could be an all-or-nothing season for the Norwegian, who could be the first F1 driver for his country if he meets success this year. This season will also be interesting to see if the Dutch squad can continue its winning streak with drivers other than Felipe Drugovich. Isack Hadjar. The 18-year-old Frenchman of Algerian descent was one of the biggest surprises of the FIA F3 season. For his rookie season with the high-tech team that struggled to fight for top positions with Hauger in 2020 or Iwasa in 2021, that year was supposed to be a learning year. However, in 2022 it clearly turned out to be much more, as Hadjar fought for the title until the last race and led the championship with superb drives, the most dominant one being on Red Bull soil in Austria. By joining Hightech in Formula 2, Hadjar will surely be one to watch as he will drive for a team where he is comfortable. Just as it was true of his F3 campaign, he is not expected to win the title in his rookie season since Hightech have never fought for the championship, despite being one of the quickest but also one of the most inconsistent teams. Could Hadjar surprise us one more time? Zane Maloney. The boy from Barbados was one of the biggest feeder series stars not yet signed by an F1 junior team in 2022. Following an amazing charge at the end of his rookie F3 season that nearly awarded him the title, Zane Maloney got signed by the Red Bull Junior team during the winter. Winning the 3 last feature races in a row was probably the most impressive achievement of his young career. At only 19 years old, Maloney now has a realistic opportunity to go to F1 in the short-term future. At Carlin, he will hope to reproduce the same kind of season that another rookie had last year, Logan Sargent, who then went on to join Williams F1. However, compared to some other rookies, he will already know the car a little better as he completed the final F2 round at Yas Marina last year for Trident. Enzo Fittipaldi. The year 2022 was one of redemption for Enzo Fittipaldi. After parting ways with the Ferrari Driver Academy and undergoing brain surgery for his dramatic accident in Jeddah the year before, it was difficult to imagine Fittipaldi where he is now. Nevertheless, the Brazilian-American had a stellar season with one of the smallest teams, Cheru Racing System, managing to finish 8th in the standings with 6 podiums and strong consistency. As with Maloney, he is now a Red Bull Junior team recruit. The 21-year-old driver is now expected to fight for the title with Carlin. He will have to dominate his younger and less experienced teammate Zane Maloney in an all-Red Bull lineup that looks very exciting. We will also see if Fittipaldi can progress in the series and achieve poles and wins to demonstrate that he has the special quality that makes drivers F1 worthy. Jak Crawford. Alongside Ollie Behrman, Jak Crawford will be one of the youngest drivers of F2 this year. At only 17 years of age, the American had a good sophomore season with Prema, but he was surely expecting and was hoping to follow in the footsteps of Dennis Hauger, who was crowned F3 champion in his second year with Prema. 7th in the standings, Crawford has not shined as much as Hadjar or Maloney in F3. There is now less pressure on him compared with Hadjar or Maloney, who both impressed everyone last year. Without pressure in 2023, Jak could feel free and more able to focus on driving, while the status of being a favourite in 2022 may have overwhelmed him a little. Nevertheless, Crawford is still very young and he has some great potential for improvement. Sebastian Montoya. The son of Juan Pablo Montoya definitely had a breakthrough year last season with 3 poles and 2 feature race wins in the 3 rounds of the Formula Regional Asian Championship, and he did so against some very strong opposition, including Isack Hadjar. Unfortunately, his Formula Regional European campaign was less successful, especially after being announced as a Red Bull athlete, where he disappeared from the points. However, his strong performance at Zandvoort in his maiden round in FIA F3 showed his raw speed and potential. Montoya will have a very fast rookie alongside him at High-Tech in F3, partnering with the Freca runner-up Gabriele Mini. Even alongside Mini, the Colombian-American will be keen to reproduce Hadjar's success with the British team. Still, the most reasonable expectation is to see a learning year from him with maybe some podiums towards the end of the season. Souta Arao. GB3 was probably one of the most unexpected destinations for a Red Bull Honda Junior driver coming from French F4. Third in the series for his maiden season in Europe, the Japanese driver is now stepping up to GB3, where he'll have to team up with the title favourite Alex Dunn. Arao managed to adapt himself very quickly to European racing with strong results from day one, but struggled to show any significant progress from there. Racing in Great Britain, he will now face a new challenge of adaptation and discovery. Arvid Lindblad. The 15-year-old British-Swedish driver will have his first full season in single-seaters. After a 2022 season shared between direct drive karts, shifter karts and F4, Lindblad is committing to the next step of his career. After collecting 12 points in his first 3 rounds of Italian F4, he now aims for more. At the time of recording, he's engaged in F4 UAE with High-Tech, and the Red Bull protege won his first F4 race at Dubai in the opening round and will challenge Prema and Mumbai Falcons drivers for the UAE title before joining them to fight for the Italian F4 championship. However, his highly rated teammates in Italian F4 will do everything to prevent the Red Bull Junior driver from capturing this prestigious crown. Enzo Deligny. While Red Bull had already announced Maloney, Fittipaldi and Montoya during the winter, the main takeaway of their mid-January announcement was Deligny. Following an impressive maiden season in the OK category in karting, the 14-year-old Frenchman will join the Red Bull Junior team, driving for Campos in Spanish F4. We expected a single-seater debut for the China-born teenager following some impressive post-season testing in Spanish F4. Despite only discovering the car, he set the fastest times on different tracks under dry or wet conditions. Advised to sign Deligny by their reigning champion Nikola Tsolov, Campos would be eager to produce the same success with the Frenchman. Enzo Tarnvanichkul. Finally, at only 13 years old, Enzo Tarnvanichkul will be the youngest member of the Red Bull Junior team. The reigning OK Junior World Karting Champion will now go into the higher category in OK this year, where he'll hope to meet the same success as in 2022, before eventually stepping up to single-seaters in 2024 or 2025. So, there are a dozen names for the 2023 Red Bull Junior Team stable, with some big-name departures like Jehan Daruvala and Yuri Vips. Who will shine and impress Dr. Marko this year, and who will have their F1 dreams destroyed? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for plenty more throughout 2023, not to mention our podcast with an excellent host who sounds oddly like me. For all the latest in the Feeder Series world, visit feederseries.net and check out our social channels listed on screen now.